we've already started the project on doing a 6-piece headlight kit for our videographer's truck, Sophia, who's running the video for us. This is her truck, and she saw what we did to our other truck, one of our other ones, and so they ordered the kit from Headlights Depot. So this is what we are doing right now, just to bring you up to date. We are going to actually remove the radiator header, which holds these headlights in. It's easier to do that because the clips that secure these to the truck are pretty old or rusted, and they'll snap off. You can get them on Amazon, or you can get them at your local auto parts warehouse. So this is the first. This is the bezel that contains the side marker and the turn signal, and this will come off first to get to the headlight. It can be done without taking the header panel off, but we're going to show you a better way. It'll actually be faster in the long run than trying to bust your knuckles and get them to bleed enough. So that's where we're at right now. What Jamie just did was take the hardware off that holds the actual bezel. This one, just like the other side, had two 7/16" nuts. Here's one of them right here. Okay, so this should come away. The lights are disconnected. And they're quarter turn. Okay, just make sure. There you go.
The stud stayed in here.
Yeah. Okay, on this side it stayed in. And these are the two that you have to remove that are really at the lower end of all this assembly. So long as you kind of know where they are visually, now you know where to look for them. And there are two little cavities in there.
Just to remove them all.
There you go.
Must have a...
Yeah. Okay, so that's what we're doing, and you can see it's going to be such a nice upgrade for your truck. All right, so we're doing an extra step that we found out that when we did the other truck, this is a 92, this is a 93, but they're all the same from 92 to 96, is that Jamie and I found out that if we actually remove the radiator header away, we can work on the back of the lights and install the headlights and then put this radiator header back on as a unit without having to mess with our marking. The second reason we want to do that is because we're trying to get as close as we can to the aiming of the headlight, because they no longer have this. Takes it away. Now make sure the headlights are disconnected. There you go. Now what you see are the headlights attached to the radiator header. Okay? We flip it over, you can see all the workings of the headlight adjustments. Here's the one, the vertical. I'll show you that on the new headlight. And we already snapped one off thinking we could get it off, but they just fatigued too easily. But once you have the header panel off, you can now take them off easier, because now you have all the room you need to open these up, and we'll show you what that looks like in a minute. All right, so that's what we need to take off, and that's why it makes it so difficult to do it when the header panel and the lights are still on the truck. It's a little bit more work, just a few screws, bring it off. You can take these out and actually salvage these, so you won't have to make a run to the parts store in the middle of the night. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead, and what we're doing, we use just a punch, and we got behind that little tab, and you strike it on each side, and it'll come out through that slot right there.
After you...
All right, so we got one out by taking off the header and removing the clips, 1, 2, and 3. You cannot get to these when it's in the truck. And if you do, you're going to end up breaking them. I'm going to show you how we do it. You can use some sort of little blunt tool. We have a punch and a small ball peen hammer. All right, so we're going to put it behind the tab. And it's sliding out, yeah.
Those open already.
Yeah. All right. So that's how it comes out. I was putting the punch against these two tab positions here, and these are the little jaws that hang on to the plastic piece. These are important because when you go to adjust the headlight, these hold the plastic piece while the center thread part is adjusted for your headlight aim. Okay, here's where we ran into trouble with the last headlight replacement. These are knockoffs, these are not OEMs, they're not original equipment from the manufacturer. So what Jamie and I found is that the plastic pieces on the back of the headlight are different length. And while that doesn't sound important or sound clear, what we're talking about is the distance that this gap is in relation to one of the others. Okay? Now, we ordered them from the same company, so I can tell you that we're probably going to end up with the same problem, in that this elevation, this gap from this elevation right here is shorter. That means when it sticks through the radiator header, this doesn't stick out enough for us to put the clip back in. We're going to find out now. If it isn't, what we've done is we've scraped a little bit of the elevation off of these so that we can put the circlips back in. And that's the only thing, I think, that was the biggest slowdown of the whole project. Another thing we're going to do is that this little remote, it's like a gearbox. It's sending the shaft down to a gear that it runs into, threads this up and down to move your headlight tilt up and down. What we've seen online and what we found out is that these are very cheaply imitated, and that you can use the original one. You just have to try to find out where this one is set so that you can put this to that setting and be close to having your headlights in the correct position so you don't blind anybody when you go driving down the road. What we're doing now is presetting the headlight aim as close to the original. And you can't do it off the back side because this screw is not the same length. It's actually shorter than that. So what Jamie and I are doing, yeah, we're getting this elevation from the plastic to the front of it, right, as it goes in. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, so you can tell we got a little bit more to go. Not much. All right, so I'm going to hold it, and he's going to turn it counterclockwise. All right, let's check it. So by doing that, by me holding the adjuster, he's able to run it out deeper.
The stinger's back a little bit more. I don't know how the camera sees it. It's, we're fairly close.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah, we're true to length, but you can see the difference right there. Okay, I'll hold it. Okay. Now, so all we have left is the up and down. This is the side-to-side adjustment. This one rocks your headlight up and down. Jamie's going to get the other one off the original headlight. I'm just going to turn this clockwise, and it's going to walk right off the adjustment stud. Takes a little bit. Just got to get through all the gears. And the tolerances aren't that close, so that's why I think people were having trouble adjusting it. So that comes out is two 90-degree angle gears meeting. Of course, it takes it from a vertical to a horizontal so that it'll go up and down and adjust on that. We've pre-adjusted the new headlight to the old headlight standoffs distances, so it should be pretty close to not blinding anybody. What we're doing now is we're going to use the original clips that we were successful in taking off, all but one, and we're crimping them a little tight so that the jaws will fit on the adjusting screw. Though we shouldn't have to move too much, I think that's where others who have done this headlight replacement have had trouble, because the plastic molded piece that's onto the threaded piece is so tight that when they go to turn it, they're actually snapping the plastic off. It's not high quality plastic. But once it's in place, unless it's in an accident, it should go for a very long time. We got the first one in on that, but we buffed off the back of it to give it a little bit easier time to slide through, and we're going to give it a little shot of WD-40, and hopefully that'll make it go in. It starts, but it is a tight fit, so we're going to use the back of the punch this time to try to put that When it's right, it's right. God, Doug. Okay.
You're right.
Turn it around.
When's
So
that
we've
in?
successfully attached the headlight with the original, as close as we can get, settings for the headlight aim on the radiator header. Something interesting that a lot of people have already commented on, these on the website say they do not come with the actual light. If they do come with headlights, they're just test lights. When we pulled them out, they're the same part number, 9007. It's what came out of the 92. And they're running right now. I mean, other than being maladjusted, they're nice and bright. So we're going to go ahead and...
We did save the other ones.
Yes. Look what we got for Sophia. We found a truck that we were able to harvest parts off, and we've gotten a lot of parts, and we still may go get a few more things from it. So we're going to make this XT trim line look like an XLT and put chrome. As you can tell, yeah. Going to dress it up a little bit. Once we, clean them out, I've already washed them. We're just going to throw a little bit of wax on them, and they'll really be nice. So we've also put the chrome grill from another truck. XTs come with gray. By the time this one, I went through all the UV damage that it did. So, okay. All right, so I don't want to scar this up any more than it is. 15 more minutes of material, and we'll put Jamie on open mic night. He's really funny. And it's not blue material, it's just funny material that he comes up with. He just got a real quick wit insight. Hey, this is not being, what do you call it?
Racist?
Racist, yeah.
Oh my
exactly.
God! Shut
All
your
right.
mouth! You can't
Yeah.
put this on the internet.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
stop while you're ahead?
What? I can say because I'm Mexican. All right. Hey, it's me. I'm talking about myself. Sophia, what is a Mexican's favorite color?
I'm not saying it.
You know the answer.
I know the answer. I'm not saying it.
Jamie, do you know the answer?
Taco?
No, it's not taco. A Mexican favorite color is Chinese.
I will.
My only joke. See, I was saying that's why Jamie's funny.